Next up, this just arrived, and so I want to document it before I mess with it, because I've never had one of these before. I don't know what these markings mean, but what we're looking at is we're looking at the top of the box. The top of the box of what? Well, let's have a look. What is it here? I think we need to turn it this way. It is none other than a Pertec 9-track tape drive. Get rid of that glare there. Oh, we got glare all over the place. 9 tracks. Okay, let's have a look. Let's open this up. There we go. As I understand it, this has never been used. This is still in its original shipping crate, I think. And it's in this wood outlay, which is inserted in these layers of cardboard. So I think this is original from the 70s. The person who provided this to me actually, I think, indicated that this has never been installed. It's still in its original in its original crate shipping state, and it's never been installed. So here we go. It is my first 9-track open reel drive. I've never had one before. I've never messed with one before. This is going to be a first, but since I'm going down this road, especially now that I have the Data General Nova, it certainly seems like it's time. Okay. Where to begin? I don't know. I figured out that this is the capstan, and I guess it's just kind of a tension thing where the stickiness of the rubber goes against the tape, and that's what drives it. I've seen others on YouTube, and so that appears to be a design. Mostly Curious Mark. Thank you very much, Curious Mark, for showing these kinds of things on YouTube, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to see that level of detail. So that's very, very cool. So there it is right there. This rubber appears to be in mostly good condition. That was the first thing that I checked because I was concerned about it turning to goo like my QIC tape drives do, but it seems to be in good condition. I'm not sure how these reels come off here. Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't. Maybe this just fits on. There's rubber here, and there's rubber here as well. I will learn about this. I will learn about this. I don't even know if this is supposed to come off and something goes on there, but we'll figure it out. All right. Well, I've seen, again, from watching Curious Mark's YouTube videos on the tape drives that he's restored, these are the tension arms, and they have more springiness than I thought they would. It's the first time for me to feel this tension. Now, I did move them. They were stuck in their position. I didn't have to put a lot of pressure on there, but it just kind of went click and click. There it is. That one did just a little bit. It was just kind of stuck, like it hadn't been moved in, I don't know, 30, 40 years. 40 years. Let's go with 40. Why not? All right, so over here we have this nice emblem right here. 9-track, 800 CPI, which is perfect. That's what I want to start with. Okay, and we have load, file protect, rewind, and ready. It appears that these buttons are backlit. And, well, hopefully as we go on here, we'll see them light up. All right. Now, again, as I mentioned, this is mounted in this cardboard thing here. So I'm not sure that I want to necessarily disassemble it just yet, but it is kind of falling apart, so we might. So now I'm going to tip it up here, and someone has written in ink pen, scrapped for DPG, do not throw away. Okay. Well, the person that provided it to me, maybe that's why he was hanging on to it. Uh-oh, here we go. So we can see that this tape here, this tape has kind of disintegrated, and so this is coming apart, and it's probably just as well, because this gives us a chance to open this up and have a look. And now we get to see that this cardboard has a channel in it. These many layers of cardboard has a channel in it for shipping. And this is a piece of plywood that is very neatly cut out. And then there's these nuts and screws that are holding this front thing in place. So it's mounted to its shipping crate. Very, very cool. So this is it. What model of Pertec drive is it? Well, we'll get to that here in a minute. But it certainly looks like it's a T7840-9-18.75. Look at this. We have some belts here. Ooh. They are not new. They're not worn out, but they've been sitting for a long time. It might be the first time they ever got moved in 40 years. Is what I'm doing right there. So hopefully they hold out for a little while because they're grooved belts. Definitely grooved belts, as you can see by the pulley there. All right. Wow. Where to begin? That doesn't belong there. Probably picked that up from my workspace here. We have some capacitors. Hopefully they've held out. We have, what is this? This looks like the 110 volts that it's supposed to work on. That's what this looks like. So there's a power supply in here. And so probably one of the first things I'll need to do is test that carefully and make certain that we don't have any problems there. Disconnect it from the electronics to make sure we don't have any overvoltage or what have you. I have not been able to find any of the manuals for this direct model on BitSavers as of yet. So I think deeper searching will be necessary, or using what I hope is going to be a similar model. So let's see here. What I'm going to do now is I think I'm going to, because I don't want to be dealing with this, I think I'm going to cut this right here. I think I'm just going to cut this tape. Oh, don't even have to cut the tape. Nope. This just comes right off. Oh, look, a little doodle in there. That's always fun. It's inside. So who knows when that happened? That's hilarious. All right, anything else on here? Just the scrapped, do not throw away. For DPG. All right. So, let's have a closer look, shall we? Oh, yes! Oh, this is beautiful. So, I imagine this will come off now, too. And sure enough, it will. And I probably could just take out take it out of the cardboard entirely, now that that's come apart. And we can look at it with some good side views, which I think will be important. There we go. There's the first view of the back. I want to do something so I don't scratch this face, so I'm going to get some different cardboard because this is a little bit too big and unwieldy. Alright, this should be perfect. My mini surplus of Priority Mail flat rate boxes. So I'm just going to shift this over here. It is heavy. It is definitely heavy, and I'm knocking things off in my lab here. That's no fun. Definitely heavy. All right, here we go. The original cardboard packing is out of the way, and so now we can see it more close up. So let's have a look at the model number. Alrighty. want to get a good look at the tag. So there it is. Let's zoom in on that. That is the model number tag. No, that's a wheel. There we go. There's our model number. Right there. T7840. That's what I've been looking for. There are those markings. Beautiful. We have the Pertec emblem right there. And I can't hold this thing up. And the tape drive at the same time. So I'm going to widen out here and we'll take a look at some other things. Sorry about the camera moving all over the place. All right. So we have a couple boards, as I would expect, and we have a couple connectors on those boards. These connectors are interesting. You know, they remind me of stuff that I've, the pin arrangement. I kind of want to see what the pin arrangement is. So one of the first things I'm going to do, because I was staring at these a little bit earlier after this thing arrived, is pull this off and see what the pin arrangement is, just out of curiosity. Not that it matters, because I think it's just connecting it to the other board, but I'm just curious. Okay. Yes. So this, it does remind me of some things that I bought for the Entrex Datascope. Except I got these. All different sizes of this. Fascinating. Okay. A wide variety of strange plugs like this from the 60s and the 70s. I think by the 80s these became more standardized. But these are definitely the same style, where the way it's polarized is that's a male screw, this is the female, and so it won't fit in, even though the pins will line up the wrong way. These little connector screw things won't fit the wrong way, which I suppose is good. I guess you really have to screw that down in order for it to make a good connection. Fascinating. Alright, well, we definitely have a date here. And as I look at it, let's have a look at what that date is. Right there. October? I think it says 1977. Nope, that's an 8. October 1978. So there we have a date stamp on this board. Absolutely fantastic. Love it. We had a date of 1977 on the tag over here above the model number. All right, let's widen out again and see what we can see here. So this top board, I don't know what it does, but I'm going to figure it out. I have a feeling this has something to do with the encoding. That's probably what this top board is the encoding. And then the question is, where do these cables go? Well, it looks like it goes right to the heads, doesn't it? The head mechanism would be back here. So there it is. There's a lot of encoding and God knows what else. That's more connections than I was expecting that goes to the head. Well, it's 9 tracks, right? So I guess it's not that absurd. And then there's going to be an erase head. Okay. Let's tip this over and have a look at this side. There we go. Again, we have the Pertec. Oh, LR28615. Not sure what that means, but let's get a close-up on that. LR28615. That doesn't seem like the model number because the model number is clearly right here. So maybe that's, I don't know, the chassis model or something. Okay. So we have a circuit board here, which is mounted to the solenoid. And then we have this lower board right here. Now this says tape control B1. We have card edge here. We have another card edge here. And if we look at the other side, looks like we have, all right, these are the plugs that go to the switches. And let's see where the power goes in. Let's tip this up this way. Interesting. That is not supposed to be like that. That has come off. See that? You can't see that. That's in the way. That has come off. But it's just a simple screw that just screws in place. So I'll just hand tighten that there. It seems very nice because these boards are in these layers, and it looks like you could take off the two of them together or one at a time because they're not on one, but they're on these offset pins here. Very cool. Very, very cool. Wow. Yep, there's our power in, high voltage in. Hopefully it's 110. I got it in North America, so that does make sense that it should be. We'll certainly be testing. And it looks like this is power in right here. I think that's what it is. Oh, we see numbers on these connectors. 1, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That looks like 13. So that should be 11, 12, and 13. That makes a lot of sense. And so 2 and 3 are not here. We have 4, 5 is missing, 6, 7, 8. Then there's 9 and 10. 11, 12, 13. Alrighty. Well, we can read the stamp numbers now. Fascinating. Well, it does not look like a hugely complicated device, for which I'm thankful. Here are the switches. This one is load. This one is file protect. This one is rewind. And this one is ready. Beautiful. Beautiful switches. I can't quite see who the maker of the switches are, but we'll get to that another time. Okay. Beautiful. So what I think I'm going to do now is just have a closer look at these boards, because that's what I'm most interested in for this video, is understanding the circuitry of this thing. Because one of the first tests that I'm going to make is not connected to a computer, but just to see if I can get it to play a tape and see if I can get any data signals out on any of the channels and see if I can figure out exactly where on this board that's supposed to happen. Alright, so we have card edge on this side. Again, I think this is probably the encoder. I'm not going to take these off, but what I'm going to do now is, see these neat little hand screws here. I think we'll take this connector off. This one just goes to the board right below it in what looks like an identical connector. So let's see. Oh, that comes off just like that. It is polarized. We see that pin is different than the rest. Yep. It is polarized, so it won't fit on and go in any other way but that. That's good. So we have mostly male pins, and that one's a female there on the board, and of course likewise there in the plug. Alrighty. Not going to take these off. Already did that. I'm satisfied that I don't need to do that again. I like how these screws come out, but not all the way. Beautiful design. So you're not going to lose the screws. Oh, look, and we have test points too. I only hope I can find the manual. Oops, missed one right there. Okay, those are all loose. There we go. Look at these test points. That's beautiful. I'm so glad to see that. So glad to see that. Now if I can only find a manual that shows me what they are. I mean, there's just numbers there. But, yeah. This is going to be a fascinating circuit to figure out. Absolutely fascinating. I'm excited to learn this stuff. This is what the backside looks like. Beautiful. There's one rework wire. A couple, but not a lot. Not nearly as much as what I'm used to seeing on the convergent technology stuff. So let's see. There's our number for the board. All right. Beautiful. We'll learn this soon. Let's set this aside. And let's look at the board underneath it. Well, we definitely have some power transistors here. 2N3055. It looks like all of them are that. And there's 8 of them in this beautiful heatsink. They use a TO3 body style. Fantastic. There's where it says tape control B1. And Pertec right there. So let's zoom in and look at this board a little bit more closely. See what we see here. Whoops, sorry about that. All right. That is awesome. Okay. So, do we want to get any closer? I think we should be able to see most of those chips. All right, very cool. Let's widen out a bit here. I don't think there's any chips to read on this side, just transistors, and then there's this. Certainly looks like a relay to me right here. All right, let's widen out a little bit more. And I want to take this board off, see how easily that comes off. And I think I should just be able to tip it up this way without disconnecting all of these wires for the moment. So just like the above board, we have these screws adjacent to. Right? They're not on the same, but offset. Very cool. All right, I think that's it. There we go. There's the back side. That's beautiful. Look at that. There's our board number there. See if I can get a better angle on that. 101294. Can't tell if it's a B or a D. There we go. And we even have a serial number sticker or whatever that might be. Very nice. Okay. So let's set this aside and have a look at the mechanism under here. So it looks like this is, I don't know what that is. I wonder if these are the tension arms here. It certainly looks like those move. We have a limit switch here. And so STD over. Mini, M-I-N-I. Let's look closer up on that. Clearly that turns. There we go. Yep, that's that tension arm. And so that's the extent of the travel. This is definitely a light sensor in there. And I learned that from watching a video where Curious Mark diagnosed a burnout bulb in one of these things. And so it looks like it's a very similar setup. And that probably is an actual incandescent bulb instead of an LED, given the age of this. Yep, and then I can see down under here. Let's move that up a little bit. We can see down under there. That looks like the photo transistor. So that's probably an incandescent bulb. Wow. Okay, now we know. So what do we have here? I don't know what this board controls. It's mounted to this solenoid, but the wires don't seem to go directly from the board to the, sorry. The wires don't seem to go directly from the board to the solenoid. There we go, sorry about that. Alright, getting these boards in the way here. Let me see if I can set them aside in such a way where they're not scraping on each other, because that's no fun. There we go. Fascinating. Alright, let's widen out here a little bit. I like the radiator clamps, the radiator hose clamps, the old school radiator hose clamps. That looks like the kind of thing I would do if I were building something by hand. But this thing is brand new, so to speak. Wow. Very cool. And we have the same thing here. This is the tension arm. This doesn't have a cam with it. It just has the, looks like the sensor thing. Now this seems like a completely open, both of these seem like completely open slots. And so I don't know what comes out of them. Seems like completely open slots. So maybe it changes along the arc. Maybe it's not a perfect partial circle. I don't know. We'll find out eventually. So we have a motor for this reel. We have a motor for this reel. It's pretty basic. I don't know what this motor does. What would that motor do? Wow. Very, very exciting. Well, let's tip this up again and just have a little bit more look at the front, just so we know what we're looking at here, because I feel a bit disoriented. Now we can see the rest of this number. 183. Customer! We have a customer number and a serial number right there. Brand new. Oh, of course. It's the capstan. Yes. It's the drive. It's the motor that drives the tape. Of course it is. All right. So now that we have a better view, let's zoom in on at least the head mechanism before we wrap this up. There we are right there. My guess is that's the erase head, and that would be the 9-track head. Nice and simple. It's hard to move the camera and hold the tape at the same time, or hold the chassis at the same time. That's about as close as I dare get. There we go. So we're looking at it upside down, but that is the head, probably read right, and I'm not sure what. If that's part of the erase head, maybe that's a flying erase head, and then what would this be over here? Another erase head? I don't know! So much to learn. Whatever this is. It's kind of fascinating, whatever it is. Don't know what that is, but it's cool. All right. Well, there we go. Well, I think I have used up about as much time as I dare. So there it is. The Pertec 9-track 800 CPI tape transport. And let's see if we can do something meaningful with this. All right. Thanks for watching.